One of the most important lessons you can learn as a man is to cook healthy meals for yourself, right? Because if you don't know how to cook healthy meals for yourself, then the women folk will be the ones cooking healthy meals for yourself. Well, not this generation. They can't cook to save their life. But if you understand how to cook, how to make things tasty, you'll be better off because you'll be able to make better informed decisions on how to eat and enjoy it. But also, when you're bulking, if you still like to eat, you're not eating enough. So, I've got my eggs with beef, 180 grams of beef, 3 eggs, and I cooked up my beef with salt and pepper, a little extra pepper, a little pizzazz. But I posted a video on my shorts, and someone was like, "Man, you can make some tacos with that." And I was like, "Homie, you just brain blasted me like Jimmy Neutron." So I understand spices enough because I watched that one episode of One Piece where they made curry, and I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make curry. And then my curry sucked. So I threw in a little bit of cumin, a little bit of paprika, and it's basically taco eggs. Now, did I mess it up? I don't know yet. I haven't eaten it yet, but I'll let you guys know. It's definitely food. Did fix it. That face you make when mom says you have to bring your little brother with you. And first carbs of the day so we don't go hypoglycemic. 4 waffles, which is about 400 calories, and 40 grams of maple syrup, which is about, 4 times 4 is 16. So it's about 160 calories worth of carbs in just the syrup. And then like whatever the distribution is in the waffles. One of the most surefire ways to make sure that you fail your cardio and weight loss goals is to set a amount of cardio that you have to do every day. Because cardio isn't like missionary position, because there's actually a little bit of enjoyment in missionary position because you get to nut at the end. It's like it's not even like edging, because at least there's excitement in edging, right? So if you want to make sure that you achieve your weight loss or cardio goals, and you probably don't want to be listening to a 350-pound man explain weight loss to you, understandably. But if you set a step goal, you are more likely to achieve your goals when it comes to weight loss and cardio, because everything you do contributes to that step goal. And I got my Fitbit that also tracks my heart rate, HRV, body temperature, oxygen saturation, stuff like that. Important things to kind of know, or like nice things to know. Be like, okay, am I sick? Yes, I am sick. But if you set a set goal, and I saw a post by Dr. Mike Israetel explaining the exact same things that are going on, and he said it was the elliptical machine lost me my husband phenomenon, where a woman goes to the gym, does like 30 minutes to an hour on the elliptical, goes home. Husband says, I'm not really feeling like this. I want to go to the store. I want to go out to eat, or it's something like that. And the woman's like, nah, I did my cardio. I don't want to do anything for the rest of the day. So he goes to the store, and he's shopping, and gets help from a younger, better looking, more confident, more motivated female, and then ends up leaving his wife after a long time or whatever. So step goals, everything you do contributes to that. But if she had a step goal, she was like, you know what, I'm not at my 10,000 steps yet, or 8,000 steps, or 6,000 steps. 8,000 should probably be a minimum, but 10,000 is the way to go. That's my step goal. My daily step goal is 10,000. If you have a step goal, everything you do, you clean up around the house, you go to the store. It actually motivates you to be more productive throughout your day, because the more that you're walking around, you're like, everything you do is feeding two birds with one stone. So I'm on my way to the store. Really long preface for that. And I'm going to go pick up some Fairlife fat-free milk because I ran out of Fairlife fat-free milk. And I need some Fairlife fat-free milk. Say that 5 times fast. And because my next meal is cereal with Fairlife fat-free milk and a protein shake. But I'm supposed to have a 10-minute walk right after having my previous meal. So I'm going to the store, make sure I hit at least 1,000 steps, because I find that on average I get about 100 steps a minute or 1,000 steps every 10 minutes. So we're going to check our steps. We're going to park a little further away from the store to make sure that we hit that 10,000 steps, because I'm not putting on a timer. Usually I take Buddy for a walk, but I've got a nature walk planned for him later today, and I don't want to bust my nut before I get there. So we're going to the store, picking up some stuff, and we're counting it as our 10-minute walk for the day, making sure that we're still abiding by the dude, you know. Anyways, I'm at the store. 220 grams of Fruit Loops and 16 ounces of fat-free Fairlife milk. Nah. Oh. 50 grams of protein in under 20 seconds. So a couple things happened between the last clip and this clip, mostly being a 3-hour depression coma where I fell asleep for 3 hours. Yeah, that's not really that much that happens. That's just one big thing that happened. So I had to reconsume some more pre-training carbs for that insulin spike. So I had a couple Krispy Kreme donuts that were just lying around the house. That sounds like I always have Krispy Kreme donuts around the house. No, it was my landlord's birthday, and my roommate decided to get them some Krispy Kreme donuts because her coworker's son was doing Boy Scouts, and they were selling Krispy Kreme donuts. I don't get how it lined up so perfectly for that, but don't question it. But what do we have going on today? We've got a foreplay day, a bodybuilding style day to prep us for the heavy training that we've got coming up this week. Or not heavy training, but like the compound movements that we got coming up this week, which is squat, bench, deadlift. We've got we're finishing up our rep goals when it comes to training this off season. Had a couple rep goals. One of them was squatting 600 for 8, or 605 for 8. So we got that tomorrow. That'll be pretty disgusting to do. And I would have felt good about it if Craig Foster didn't post a 755 for 10 yesterday. So one of these days I'm going to be strong. One of these days I'm going to be strong. And we're also working towards a rep PR on bench, and that one's been taking a little bit longer because we took a little bit of a different approach to our not post-apocalyptic, our post, I guess it was an apocalypse of a meet, our post-meet training block, where we did a lot more Larson presses and working on that initial pop and the stability muscles, controlling the weight and being more patient under the bar. So that's benefiting pretty well as we're ramping up, getting closer and closer to that 500 for 5 or 6 that we're looking at. So we've got 455 3x5 later this week on Thursday, and then we've got a new quadruple PR on deadlift this week, and we're looking at doing 605 for a 1x4, and then we've got some back downs in not cluster sets, but pretty much cluster sets. So what we got going on today is reverse grip lat pull downs into head supported
3 by 20 by 20, head supported, rear delt flies supersetted with hex push-ups. Really, the main focus of those hex push-ups is getting as low as possible. So like bigger dumbbells would be better, but I'm just going to use the same dumbbells that I use for the rear delt flies. And then we've got incline dumbbell press. That superset is a bit grueling. Set of 20 supersetted with itself with a set of 6 of slow eccentric. That'll be fun and interesting, and not me wanting to masturbate with sandpaper rather than doing that whatsoever. And then we've got chest supported, zero acceleration seesaw dumbbell rows. And I think there might be one more thing before we finish off with curls, 3 by 20, 30 seconds rest, and then curls but heavier, 3 by 8, 2 minutes rest. So we've got a lot going on there. There's a cop in front of me, so I'm looking inconspicuous. That's what we got going on today. We're almost at the gym, so should be pretty exciting. I'll see you guys. I mean, it'll take you 0.0 seconds to see me next, but it's going to take me a couple minutes because I'm not quite there yet. And I've got the Concerning Hobbits queued up on the radio, and that jam is going to get me in the zone, auto zone, for training today. So, see you guys there. Accessory day foreplay was underway. Damn, poetry's hard. It was a good day. So we started off with those underhanded lat pull downs with 140s, 4 by 12, 90 seconds rest. It was programmed 2 minutes rest, but I didn't really feel like standing around that long, which means we probably are due to increase the weight on those, probably to 150s. We did get a really wicked good pump with that. Meaning that the lats, the wings were super fluxed, super flexed, super pumped, and we were getting the hypoxic response in the muscles definitely by the end of that. So it might be time to increase the weight on that. And well, it could have been more intense. It's supposed to be like an RPE 7, RPE 8, which means we've got like 2 reps in reserve. Because RPE is stupid and reps in reserve is always better. Percentage better than reps in reserve, better than RPE, because RPE is stupid. And my coach was basically like, I put RPE, but if you feel like you need to better, you can understand the requirements better as doing it RIR with 10 being sort of like the top amount of reps. So like an RPE 8 would be 2 reps in reserve kind of deal. RPE 7, 3 reps in reserve. He wants me doing it that kind of deal because I am very anti RPE. But his spreadsheet is modeled for RPE rather than reps in reserve. So he's like, adjust it like this. Completely understandable. Adjust it like this. And then we moved on to the head supported rear delt flies supersetted with hex push-ups, and I moved the dumbbells out a little further, try and get a little bit more stretch. And I'm playing around with the position of my elbows on that. I'm making sure that my belly touches the ground, so that's a maximal stretch without reducing the amount of load on the muscles or the joints. So we're getting the best stretch that we can possibly dream of getting while doing those. And I felt like I was going super into the top, but I don't know. It's not the most important part. The most important part is the stretching under a load. And then we moved on to the dumbbell bench. Oh, on the rear delt flies, we're using 25s, and that one it's difficult, but it's not. It's like the head support allows you to kind of tap into that mind-muscle connection a little bit better, more aggressively, and get a better feel for it, better specificity, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. And so use 25s for that. And we've been using 25s this whole time, and it's one of those where it's like I'm really trying to. It's like if I increase the weight, it gets too heavy, but at where it is now, it's too light. So it's like just control the eccentric a little bit more aggressively, and hopefully we'll develop that muscle mass so that we can go up and do it the way that we want to. That just sounded like rubbish, but anyways. Moved on to the incline bench, incline dumbbell bench, 4x20x6, 90 seconds rest, 70-pound dumbbells, and really trying to stretch out the upper chest with these, trying to touch the edges of the dumbbells to like as close to my bicep as possible. That's really where we're trying to, that's really the here's the bottom of the movement. A lot of people don't even touch the dumbbells to their chest, and like they'll get bigger and bigger dumbbells and they won't touch it to their chest, and they're really missing out on like the whole point of it. They're ego lifting at that. So it's like I could do these. I might be able to do these with 150s, but like what I'm trying to get out of the movement isn't just moving weight, it's priming the muscles for the rest of the week. The only lifts where I try to move weight are super specific. It's basically the way that I train is bodybuilding, but heavy. But like really trying to focus on the neural connection between the muscles and the stretch to kind of prehab the muscles so that I can abuse them like a redheaded stepchild for the rest of the week. So did this set of 20 and then supersetted it with a slow eccentric sets of 6. I don't really care about the lockout on these, but it's almost like a metronome going on when I have the lockout in there for the slow eccentric. So I really focused on that a little bit more aggressively with the slow eccentric part of that. Then we moved on to the chest supported seesaw zero acceleration dumbbell rows, 3x20 for those with 3 minutes rest, because it's just so it's a systemically high exertion movement, because like any back movement is going to be high exertion, because whenever you train your back, you're not just training your back, you're also training your grip and your biceps and delts. And I am using hooks on this. It's programmed to use hooks, but it's like I don't like the way the hooks really sit in my hands, so I do a bit of grip on it. I don't let it just hang. So there's a little bit going on there. So it's a high systemically abusive or exertion movement, so more rest time on those, because we've already hit back for 4 sets previously, and so we're finishing off with 7 sets of back for the day, if you don't include the rear delt flies. And then, so what was that? And it's just annoying doing 20 reps, but seesawed, which means one arm at a time, is actually 40 reps, so you've got a really long time under tension. But that being said, I didn't get a super good pump doing this. The hypoxic response wasn't really coming into play, which means we need to increase the weight on this the next time that we do it, or slow it down, but probably increase the weight on it, because we're at a point where we are controlling it. We're getting a good stretch, and we're getting a good squeeze at the top as well. Really focusing on getting like such a tight squeeze that it's almost pinching kind of feeling there, where it's like it hurts so good. It's like ask your girl how she feels about anal. It feels like that, so I've heard. So, and then we moved on to the last 2 movements of the day, which are the same movement but different weights. We've got the well, they're not the same movements anymore, because we've kind of adjusted the way that we're approaching them to try and get a better prehab stretch under a load going on there. It's 3x20, 30 seconds rest, full supination bicep dumbbell curl. We're doing these with 15-pound dumbbells, and by the third set, we're crying a little. We're being little babies because the hypoxic response is popping up at rep like 10. So our body is in that zone of adaptation, which means we're getting a really good pump. I actually had to walk around the gym for a bit after the third set, and I was like, my bicep pump is really good, and like I tried to adjust my sleeves on my shirt, and they couldn't. So I need to snag me one of these emo chicks who's well adept with using scissors on clothes rather than themselves, and have them cut all the sleeves off all my shirts because I'm so fucking slow, boys. And so after that, we increased the weight and we did a 3x8 2 minutes rest with 40-pound dumbbells. Probably could increase the weight on those. We did drop the weight on those a little bit when we added the full supination on the lighter dumbbell curl, but we're doing like regular curls. So we've got that increased fatigue, the new stimulus, and we're getting adjusted to that stimulus so we can reintroduce a lot of the load on the second part of the heavier dumbbell curls. So pretty good day. We're headed to Walmart because when you don't have a boss breathing down your neck and you're unemployed and you're trying to like do a lot of things, but so I got hired, but I'm waiting for my start date, and it's like the financials are draining and I don't feel comfortable with that. So I need to present myself a little bit more professionally in my hobby endeavors, which is these video vlogs. So I'm also introducing weekly recaps, or I'm trying to. I gotta script those out, which is a new skill set that I have to learn, but it also takes a lot of time, and the editing on those videos is almost like 20-fold in contrast to these nitty-gritty vlog videos. So trying to do that a little bit better, grow the community, increase my skill set when it comes to video production, and give you guys better content to watch and engage with. Also trying to I've got a fiction book that I'm writing. I don't know if I shared the title of it with you guys, but I will eventually start recording the audiobook version because I'm also an audiobook narrator. I just haven't had any work with that in a while, which is disheartening. Got something like 40 auditions out there right now, and I get updates all the time. Oh, we went with another audiobook narrator, and I'm like, eh. But gonna do that for myself, share that book, and start the new channel for that book specifically, and really not care about the analytics on that, because you don't write to make money. If you do something because of the monetary value behind it rather than liking the process, it's like if you want to have an all-time world record on like squat, bench, or deadlift, and you solely focus on that rather than, let's actually enjoy training, your chances that you're going to hit that all-time world record are lower if you focus only on that record. But if you look at the process that it takes to achieve that record, actually enjoy what you do, and recognize that the results that you get are from the processes and things that you've put together, and all that, you got to recognize that if you do things, it's similar. Like, you can really notice when authors write because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to become an all-time bestseller. I want to write lots of books so I can make lots of money. The stories just aren't good. The stories aren't good. But if you get like a super autistic author who's just like, I've got all these stories in my head and I just want to, they'll put out like 40 books. All of them are smash hits. And you're like, oh, I really like this. I have now found an addiction in his literature. Like, my favorite author, Will White. If you look at his social media, I've had a couple conversations with him. It's kind of weird because I have a bigger following online than he does. But he's like an Amazon bestseller. But his social media, he doesn't do it himself. He could give zero shits about his social media. His social media is completely run by his brother and sister. And they're like, you need some sort of online presence. He's like, meh. Books. People read books. I write books. So, and then sometimes he'll be like, I'm going to make fun of people who try to do a lot of social media. So he's got a good online presence, and his online presence is good because he doesn't care. So it's like, I went off topic there. I guess the ADHD is a little, but yeah. So I'm at Walmart because I'm going to stop editing all my videos on my phone because it's way too easy to get distracted on my phone, and it's way faster on my computer. And I already have 1 terabyte hard drive because, like, the initial part of this channel, I was throwing the videos onto my computer, like editing them and then throwing them up. So if you look at the early Road to Goat series, which I still put all these videos a part of, they're pretty. I hope they're better now. I hope so. But I have about 2 weeks worth of content on my phone right now. I need to get it onto my computer and start editing and putting them out. I need to find a better schedule associated with that because it's going to take a little bit of time. And I want to be able to interact with you guys, you know? So I'm at Walmart because I need a USB-A to USB-C cord. For those of you nerds out there, it's a regular USB to a USB to an Android. Or do iPhones have USB-C now? Because lightning connectors are dog shit. And they're stupid. Anyways, I've tried to leave like 20 times. I'm going now. Oh, okay, we got dinner. 8 ounces of pasta, 220 grams of 95.5 beef, 360 grams of pasta sauce, and some cheese to make the world go round. Now, I ran out of pasta sauce, or I finished off my pasta sauce, my Prego traditional, and my roommate has a recipe for pasta sauce, and I'm like, do I want to go buy more pasta sauce or do I want to make more? So I cleaned out the container, and I think I'm going to go to the store tomorrow and pick up all the required materials to make my own pasta sauce and do it that way. Because things that are homemade are always better than store-bought. That is a lesson I've learned throughout the years. And I think it might be cheaper too.